Good morning there. You're watching QTV this morning, and I am your host, Jenna Bosonko, joined by my amazing co-host who's actually acting weird right now. I don't know for what reason.
Drinking tea, it's acting weird.
Waning ko tea, jël sa loxo bi yaangi am lifin li nga wara use, not your hand. You're supposed to do it this way. You're supposed to do this.
I am not going to do
and
it the
sip.
way listen, I have
but
my
not
own
this. You can't do this.
No, but
you
I
can't
have
do
my
this.
own way of doing my thing.
Li moy lanati?
Do things differently.
Really?
All right?
To the extent of nga jël sa loxo bi di ko def.
Do it.
No, man bi duma ko laal.
Xam nga fi lu ya hadika bi moy. Lo buga def Said
Our
Mati.
newspaper review guest is here.
She said I'm acting right.
Executive Director, Center for Research and Policy Development. He's always weird.
He said I'm acting right.
Lii la fi defati di jël loxom bi yaangi am sali.
Said Mati. Deglu. Said Mati xana musulo gis kuy nanti mu def ni.
Gis naa ko de.
Lolu yaga na bari na. Lolu je xam nga yeen xalé jamono bi xam nga.
Xalé jamono ñun bay leen ñu.
Waaye ñu ne nga ànd ak kaas bi.
Ànd waaw. Ànd
ak sosa bi
waaw.
Ni.
Wow.
Lolu tubab lu la.
Tubab lu. Anyway, quickly, how was your weekend?
Well, alhamdulillah, I enjoyed my weekend. I spent it with the whole family, you know.
Okay.
We are throughout at home.
All right. How about you? Working or family?
Half and half.
Okay.
And it was great. It was a great weekend.
Okay.
Yesterday I spent it the whole day with the family. So
That's
yeah.
a good thing,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
family, whatever. Man, mom, I spent my whole weekend kind of walking. Saturday, I'm on back pain.
From now I'm back pain. So activity never been.
I need some time out.
Yo, so they made a cool. I'm gonna cool. I'm gonna cool. Motor su cool again.
But anyway, it's December, so it's that time of the year where you kind of also feel relaxed.
Yeah.
This time of the year, for some reason, my mood changes. I'm more active and happy. The year is ending, and I know there's another year that's coming up, and looking forward to walking and achieving so many things. But do you guys do New Year's resolutions?
Yeah, for me, I do.
You do?
I mean,
you have a list of it?
I do.
Does it work for you?
I have a plan. Well, it sometimes work.
Okay.
But at times you achieve other things. You know?
How about you?
I cannot remember. I mean, sometimes I say this is a resolution, but I never flow through.
Okay.
So usually I don't remember having anything set.
Okay. Anyway, man, personally, it does work for me. So what I do is, I used to do it, but I stopped it. So like when a new year is coming, I'm just hopeful and know that I'll work harder, and whatever comes my way, good. Wassalam. Because resolutions are very kind of tie down to remembering this.
Yeah. I think it's important for walk, right?
What?
Keep walking, keep pushing. I can remember last year, the beginning of 2022, I said, you know, we're working towards achieving at least 1 million. I believe million be new.
1 million ilan hal sa account.
Believe million be new.
So you want to be a millionaire.
So mungi melni, you know, I think it's important you fate ay New Year's resolution.
Why am na ko binda book de how to become a millionaire? Dama read ko.
Wow.
Góor bobu binda book bi. Why mom sa du millionaire mo ni?
Maybe millionaire la. Why daf la nekka di nuba rek. Why man xam na ne millionaire la.
Let's head right on to the African proverb, and then before we go for the break, I'll give you a rundown of what to expect. What is our African proverb?
It reads, home is not where we live, home is where we belong.
Okay.
Home is not where we live, home is where we belong.
Okay. Sedmat, you're shaking your head. Maybe you want to start.
I mean, it's a nice one.
Okay.
It's a nice one because sometimes people look at homes as just a structure, or you know, even call a country. Because I live here, so this is my home. But you might not naturally feel connected to that place, and it also speaks to issues of identity. And so, where you identify, you know, strongly and you know, feel comfortable. I think usually this is where people identify. Like sometimes they say, you know, home is not where I was born, but where the heart is. You know, so it's about the attachment, the connection to that place, and I like it. It's a beautiful one.
Yeah. How about you?
Well, it's telling you. I mean, you need to give all the best. I mean, you don't just have to. When you are doing something, when you want to do something, make sure give the best. It's not only where you live, but where you belong.
Yeah.
You have to make sure you give all the best. You have to make sure, I mean, you contribute.
Yeah.
You know, when we are taking it like the home perspective, we need to make sure we just don't have to live in the home, you know, but we also have to make sure the reason why we are there as a family, we have to show that. That's what I.
Is that so?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's also similar to what, you know, what Professor Gomez used to tell us.
That sometimes if they book in the chaos, like more fully fenen.
But I think I agree with him also.
But, yeah. Well, but anyway, man, Bumagise proverb. What came to my mind is the World Cup. The World Cup in the sense that you see how Bril Embalo of who was born in Cameroon but went to Switzerland when he was 6 years old. He did not celebrate when he scored that goal for Switzerland because he feels that sense of attachment with Cameroon kind of thing, even though he was just born there, but then had to come to Switzerland, and then the Swedish, the Swiss trained him and everything. But you can see that his heart really seems so connected to Cameroon. So when I saw that, I was like, you know, that is amazing. Kind of shows how much respect he has for Cameroon. But whatever the case, he scored the goal. You guys, whatever the case.
Well, I mean, it goes beyond telling you home, only home. I mean, it's telling you to respect the ties, the relationship between you and those that you're from the same lineage, the same blood. I mean, I think it's telling you to respect that relationship between you
But sometimes people have attachments with homes and they want to be home, but circumstances they can't be home where they belong. You know, we see issues such as caste system, you know, where it pushes people away from where they belong. So sometimes people move away and due to circumstances beyond their own control. It's not like they don't appreciate where they come from, but where they come from do not appreciate them as well. And then they have to go someplace else and embrace that as home, because that is where they get to have their peace of mind.
Here we also say that, you know, there's this kind of saying that here, I mean, you know, you cannot do take a finger neka, so you must go out to take it or something. I cannot remember the statement exactly. It speaks to that issue also. But I like the you know, Balde's analogy, which, you know, for me it speaks to how one needs to contribute, because it's talking about issues of belonging and belonging. And when I looked at it, the whole world, you know, all of us belong to the whole world. And whether we are here in Gambia or outside, whether they are in the diaspora, being a diaspora, earning, sending back home, you're also belonging, you're living. And now we're having a lot of those
remittances.
Even getting, not only the remittances, but getting citizenship like Embalo that you talked about. So we're seeing that, and it shows that the world is also,
it's a global village.
It's a global village, and it's home to all of us.
Yeah, but I think Africans really believe so much in home. I see that. We have that deep rooted, because to baski su jote sa,
you have to go,
ku am jabar man suma jëkkër dama la laajte de dama ko laajte ndax Tabaski bu jotee dañoo am pour buub suñ njaboot yi dem dem op ko
bu nekkee yow kon yow jëkkër buy xalaat nooy xalaatee nga war a am
déedéet waaye daf di mën a problématique. Maybe the wife is not even up for buub njaboot yi yëpp dem, because daf di mën a métti.
I mean, I think everybody also, you have your own cultural patterns and way of, you know, celebrating. So loolu tamit dafa bokk.
waaye dam seen bari nga war a say di laajte loolu yëpp.
déedéet dafa waaye see, it's about communication. ku nekk mu wane man lii laa mën a jël, yow nga ne ko lii ñu dem.
Not necessarily sax xam nga pour buub njaboot bi dem juli loolu sax du forcé.
du forcé
loolu dafa dépend si seen situation.
waaye man see dégg am na families yoo xam ne seen jëkkër dana ko dee forcé ba muy cause problème. Lii waxuma ko ngir wax nii de dama ko gis. So that sense of belonging tam, it has to be in a subtle way boo xam ne du affect both parties. Xam naa ne lu ma wax
you know, this Julie yii nii feast la. And so sometimes feast people want to celebrate it with family.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, whether to go or to stay, I mean, that should be the decision of the you know, wife or husband.
What?
So for me, I don't think they were not
that should be the decision of the man.
Déggal gis nga lii laay wax moo tax mu dee cause problème. Yow yaa ngi buur jigéen bi di ko yóbbu xam nga loolu
nañ agree rek seen mati
nañ waxante dégg waay.
But tamit dañu wax ne tamit so say is, you know, you're under the direction of the man or something.
Waaw loolu góor baa la wax ma ne
dañoo waxtaan communication waxuñ fii du lifin nekkul géeti xar wala dara.
déedéet fii du géeti xar dara fii ku fi sëy.
fii du géeti xar de.
bu fi sëy on na góor nga war a
bañu ma ko uyu ma da ngeen di xelalante partnership xam nga uyu ma seet man leer na ma nañ ne yow
yéen na ngeen am two equal points so léegi is difficult pour ma di
boobu mooy affaire fii daal sëy bi daal partnership la dañoo waxtaan ba jubu amut forcé na yow toogal fi yow lii non du forcé
ku nekk bañee nag su kii bañee kii bañee nag so how do you do
su kii bañee kii bañ ñu seet daal ku nekk na kenn wàcca
jigéen baa war a wàcca
non kum si munti door loolu du suma
jigéen baa war a wàcca
so optique Manduma Wahakyo. So Opticalia is actually back with us, and we are so happy to have them back as sponsor. Because Opticalia came, the contract ended, they decided to renew it. And the reason why they did is because they know that it's the proper morning show in this country. It's the best morning show in this country, and it can really take your name places, and that is exactly what we're doing with Opticalia Group. So make sure to join our amazing family. We'll go for a short break, and when we come back, we will head right on to the newspaper review. We'll be right back. Opticalia is a leading European brand which is now in the Gambia. Are you looking for glasses? Then you have come to the right place. As a first step, we will perform an eye exam to ensure we prescribe the correct lenses for you. After that, you can select a frame of your choice. We have a variety of brands in stock, and you will definitely find yours. You can have the full package of frame plus lenses starting from $990 up to more for the most fashionable options. Once you find a frame you like, your lenses will immediately be edged by our lab technician. Within 30 minutes, you will be able to leave with your prescription glasses and a huge smile on your face. How amazing is that? Visit us at the Tropic Shopping Center near Senegambia from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day of the week, or call us on 503-4411 or 7767-123. From that short break, if you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning. We're joined by our newspaper review guest, Said Matijau, Executive Director for Center for Research and Policy Development. Ibrahim, so now we can just delve into the newspapers. That's
yes, we have the Foroya here.
Yeah.
Fear rises among border villages as Casamas conflict rages. And of course, we have Hartman farmers class in Nyamina injuries sustained. President announces date for commencement of groundnut trade season. Okay. We also have Finance Minister discloses fertilizer subsidy for 2023 crop season to lawmakers. Okay. And we have on the editorial still on the negotiation table. Okay. The farmers satisfied with the price of groundnut.
Yeah. So moving on, here we have that the Kiang West National Assembly member describes the budget as unrealistic, and 20 communities in Jimara to get electricity. We all know President Barrow is currently on his Meet the People tour, part of the things that we expect to be said. And also Fonyi renews call for removal of Senegalese forces. Yes, I think that is all we have here. One something I saw, I think it's on another newspaper, and it caught my attention, and I think it's something worth starting with. We saw how Momodu Sabali is saying that, part of the headlines, he's talking about how Dabo should remain the party leader for the United Democratic Party. What's your take on that?
Well, I mean, I don't belong to the UDP. I think it is more of an internal conversation that they are having right now, especially now that we are going towards, I mean, most parties are going towards Congress. As to who should lead a party or who should not lead a party, that should be the decision of the members of those political parties. And I think that's this is the kind of conversation that we are having, while some perhaps within the party will prefer a new candidate, while there are others that also want to stick with the current leadership. And so I think this is also why we talk about internal party democracy. But I'm also happy that this conversation is also coming up in the media, and so that we can also be following to understand, you know, the kind of conversation or the kind of engagements that are happening at each political party. So for me, I mean, as to who they prefer to lead or not, I mean, that's their decision.
Yeah, but generally, what's your take on having opposition get leaders who stay for a very long time at that level? Because the conversation is ongoing about them being government in waiting and having the right constitutions, where also there can be some change of leadership at party level, just so we have hope that when they, you know, assume office, when it comes to the presidency, that democratic way of leadership would also reflect there.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a general argument that people generally agree that there needs to be internal party democracy, that for a party to, you know, I mean, the nature of national politics must also reflect within the party. But I also say that internal party processes should also influence what is happening at the national level. And of course, for me, usually, you know, I like where I don't belong. I mean, I just usually don't want to say like this has to be what needs to be done.
Yeah, because
but
they know their realities.
Every individual, every political party, they have their laws, they have their structures, what they agree upon, and I mean, it's a membership-based organization. And if some of the members want somebody to serve there for 900 years, I mean, that's their entitlement. But
that's their entitlement, but you should be worried, Sid.
I mean, then for me, as a citizen, if that person, if, you know, people come out and say, well, they want this person to serve, and I have been voting for that person, it's my also decision to see whether I should vote for that person or not. So there's relationship. There is what happened within the party, but there's also what happened outside. So sometimes being not members, not being members of a political party, I mean, of course, I have little to influence on those political parties. But when it comes to outside the party, that's where my role as a citizen is also.
Yeah, because
even though the expectation is that all parties must be democratic.
Exactly.
And issues of term limit are critical. But for me, I will want to leave that to political parties.
Yeah, because I was just, you know, reading about Equatorial Guinea, and we saw Obiang has been elected again.
Yeah, going for, for those ones. I mean, those ones, of course, you know, I mean, definitely doesn't.
Why because, for example, the United Democratic Party and DOI and other parties, for how long have these individuals been party leaders? Then what are we seeking to achieve?
Then that's the question for the parties. Whether the parties want to move forward or whatever they're thinking, it has to be done. And the expectation, the parties also need to put into consideration the expectations of the citizens, you know, because at the end of the day, these are the people that will vote for them when it comes to national elections. And so for us, like, this is the balancing that needs to be done. But for me, I would not, I want time limits for the constitution where I can control. I would want to see more internal party democracy within political parties. But whether somebody should serve for 2, 3, or who should be the leadership for life of the party, I mean, I think that's a decision for the party to make. And
well, I think when the party make their own decision, if they come outside, then that's where we, the citizens, will have to decide on what to do.
Especially non-members of the party.
We also have a constitution that guides it. So I think that is left to the party.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
But I understand. I understand what you are driving.
Jay is also making a very
That's
important
what I'm saying.
I understand that.
Because ñoom dañ bëgg a jël nguur. Man waxuma UDP de. Man, I'm talking about all parties in general. The fact ne you're a political party, we have the right.
Yeah.
Because one day you can win. Yeah. And then where are we to question things when we knew about it?
In fact, you can say directly or indirectly.
Exactly.
We also have a right to talk about other political
should.
No, we do. I'm not denying that. But I'm saying, like, when it comes to the decision making, you know, because this is a party structure, and parties, they look at membership. Like, you are a member, it doesn't look at age, you know, they say this is a position and people must contest. If they don't have a term limit within their own party, if they don't have those kind of stuff, if they structure their party in a way that it will allow others to continue, what we can only say is that parties need to promote internal democracy. Yep. But we cannot, I mean, say that they can choose this one or not choose that one. And for me, where I say, like, me being, you know, not being part of a political party, the only time that I will have a decision against whether the party, what they have done, is when it comes to national election.
Yep.
And then I can decide whether I should agree with that party in terms of their selection or not. But we also need to remember that, you know, there is political party executive, but there is also candidates. So not necessarily parties can elect somebody to lead the party.
Yeah, that is
but when it comes to elections, they select somebody else to lead that. So those things
normally
we need to look
that is not the case in Gambia. Fi history bi moy ki fi nek xel bi moy dem elections.
But
sadly
that's the except there is one party that brought in somebody different.
CA.
Was it CA? No, not CA. It's Jame's party.
And also, CA is different because they have their party.
I think Unity Party. Was it Unity Party? They contested in the last election.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
Kiang West, a National Assembly member, describes budget as unrealistic. So currently, you know, there's a lot of controversy when it comes to salaries of, you know, members of the National Assembly. And we know 60% of the current National Assembly are new. 40% has been there, speaker is new and everything, but it's not looking good in the eyes of the public, where there's some special attention as to them getting a pay raise.
I mean, I think right now, I mean, we are talking about the budget proposal, and the conversation is there, and I'm very happy whether on social media and outside you hear this conversation, and what stood out basically is the issue of salary. But I also think that people need to understand one aspect. Today, the National Assembly has moved from, you know, what they used to be like 2 years ago or so. Now it's more like an, you know, autonomous institution in a way, with the passing of the National Assembly Service Act. And so, you know, when we talk about the state being the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary, so the Assembly is also looking at it from that perspective, that they are more like an equal arm of government. They have a, you know, role that they need to play. But I was also looking outside the speaker's increment. It seems like I was reading Gambia Parliamentary Network by Gainako, and I realized that most of the increment that we are talking about, these are like the 30% of the maybe of the previous one or so. But for me, I think, you know, the salary is one aspect. I think people need to be concerned about that. But I am more concerned about how can this budget in particular, because we're also talking about National Development Plan 2, which is coming next year, are we also catering for that? Because right now the budget structure, I mean, the huge majority of the budget goes into recurrent, very few percentage goes to development budget. So it seems like the entire budget structure is more of to pay bills and sustain government operations and all that, but very few or very little goes to the people. And for me, this is what I am concerned about. I'm concerned about what is getting to the people, and I think I will agree in terms of that is unrealistic. There needs to be restructuring.
National Development Plan 2 is coming up. What's your take on National Development Plan 1 in relation to all of the things that it captured and working towards achieving them?
I think to some extent progress have been made in many areas, and I think one of the areas that I've been mostly focusing on has been on governance reforms and all those. Because of course I tend to be jack of all trade, but I want to focus on the governance reform. I saw the issues of TRRC that they wanted to establish has been established. Security sector reform that they wanted to initiate has been initiated, even though there are a lot of challenges that need to be addressed. You know, we see some of the governance issues that they wanted, but of course the biggest failure for me, I think, has to do with the failure of a constitution. For us not to have a constitution, I think that has been the biggest challenge. And even looking at the draft NDP, I think they realized that. That's why they also identify a new constitution as what would basically consolidate the changes that we have. So progress have been made to a certain extent, but there are also structural gaps that need to be changed. But for me, overall, I think the idea of planning needs to be changed. It needs to be bottom up. It needs to be, you know, started at the local district level, local government, and then it grows that way. So that government at the end of the day will have an idea instead of, you know, just focusing on continuing on what has been done in the previous.
We also saw the Tech Fee program has ended, and now a sustainability plan is the National Employment Policy and Plan 2022-2026. And President is, throughout his tour, I can see how he's repeatedly talking about the 150,000 jobs that they're looking forward to creating through this policy. What's your take on that?
I mean, for me, like, I remember at one point, CA in their plan, they talked about creating 100 jobs. I said, this is simple. It's possible. I mean, it's possible, especially when you invest in the productive sector. And they're talking about 5 years, 150,000 jobs, 5 years. It's doable. But that this requires that, you know, they look at areas where they need to invest in terms of the productive sector, whether it's going to be in the agriculture or what kind of jobs are they going to create. I think for me those are the questions that we need to we need to talk about. But I think it's doable. It's definitely doable, and it needs to be done. It needs to be done because a lot of people. It's
not even a policy. It's a done deal.
I mean, it's one of the biggest challenges that this country is facing: the lack of employment for many of the young people, and we're expecting thousands to leave the schools, and after they leave, the immediate expectation is that there should be jobs.
Yeah, but even though thousands are leaving, we see the contradiction currently when it comes to what the market is seeking and the skilled workforce is not there. The market is seeking it. It can't provide it. So really the spaces are there, but it's about also creating, like you said, creating the 150,000 jobs in relation to what the market needs.
Yeah. But also, I mean, we decide what a market is. I always argue that, I mean, this country needs to start thinking about business, but also start thinking about growing its own commodities. Things that we do not need from outside, we need to create it here. I mean, agricultural products and all those different stuff. We need to start focusing on that. And recently, we are seeing a lot of young people moving towards whether it's poultry, whether it is farming, you know, how they call it. I think the focus needs to be how do we, you know, upscale those different interventions through access to funding and all that. But then the other challenge with this, you know, when we talk about employment, is employment for who? Like you were saying, is employment for who? Because you're talking about the kind of quality of training, and I think this is also why government is trying to respond to these issues. Particularly, currently I hear about this decision to have Tibet training centers across the whole country. Because skills, I mean, here today, if you're looking at the construction is booming, but very few Gambians are engaged in that. Carpentry, all these different skills. I think these are the ways that we need to invest so that we can.
I think we'll get there, because I'm saying on this paper, foundation stone for Tibet Center in Wasu.
Right, foundation stones. Really, you're depending on foundation stones, Balde? Please. Foundation stones.
That's a sign. But that's a sign. At the end of the time, I'm gonna go like it. Like a foundation stone.
It's a starting point.
Suñ ne liggéeykat yaa ngi liggéey waaye foundation stone si mid people toog
everybody can
waaye nag foundation stone yu bëri yuñ fi tegoon ndax sampuñ ko
am na yuñ si sampa
am na yuñ sampa gradually we are coming
waaye foundation stone laa bëgg man xoolal xam nga lu ma gënal seet
non waaye man
mu pare ba pare
man actually sax nekkut foundation stone yuñ nekk di teg waaye man it's the wasu for me
decentralization
it's the wasu for me moo tax you know, I think this is very important.
Because the WASU is very critical. Because if you look at it on the northern side here, I mean, you hardly find any skills training center along that road. I mean, except for very few areas. But I think this is important that we decentralize this, because at some point, this is why I argue that, you know, the NDP, even the budget, needs to start thinking about how do we give power to the local government councils so that they can, you know, be invested in this kind of stuff. But the problem we also have here is the government, central government wants to do everything. Central government cannot do everything. So sometimes you need to give the powers to the people that are closer to the people. I can remember interviewing the mayor,
and she talked about that, especially when it comes to environmental related matters. They want to have, you know, the power to do certain things, to be able to control. So I think they really...
Central government should just be policy
coordination,
coordinating and doing that. But then the real work should be passed to this local government. And the fact
that central government and council then I'm here, dal. I can't get it.
You see, for me, I mean, you know, it's not nice to say that, but I feel like central government wants to take over everything. I mean, it's a little bit petty in my view. In terms of the way they want to govern this council. But if the 1997 constitution calls for devolution, ne powers then to the local government, and this is the directive the steps that we need to take should be one to ensure that there is political autonomy. Like already, I mean, we have achieved to an extent that political economy where we're electing chairmen, mayors, but then we're talking about what? The administrative. Today we can elect a chairman, but that chairman does not have the power to appoint a CEO, for instance, and CEO are the chief executive officers. And if these people are not able to have everything internal, I mean, it becomes problematic. And we've seen what happens to KMC.
Well, so CEO might not be ready to work. Because tegulo ko fa keneen ko fa tek so dafa fi ne te koku la answerable. So that is how internal politics comes in, and councils will not work.
For me, the biggest problem with the councils today is that they have no money. Yeah, physical, you know, it's these people that are trying to, especially the urban councils like Came and Banjul, trying to survive.
Twinning, they survive based on this twinning.
Yeah, it's twinning, but projects, but all that stuff, you know, and more of population. But go to Basse, go to other area councils, they're not earning anything. Because even the tax that they were collecting, whether it was cattle tax or whatever tax it is, it has been taken from them. And you cannot expect development to take place when people are not being responsible for their own.
Thank you so much, Said Mati, for coming on the program. It's always good to have you here. You know, always something to learn from, you know.
I'm always happy to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much. Happy. So, Balde, before we go, I want to say something. To all of you people at the Mile 2 prison watching us, we appreciate you. Mile 2 every morning. Wow. Yesterday, I was informed that Mile 2, Suba bu neka, this morning, like they said. So we are sending some love and light. So to all the, you know, inmates there, we appreciate the fact that we accompany you every morning while you're there. Yal na len fa yalla gene, and we really appreciate this. Yesterday I was informed and I was really happy that at least we are part of their journey to you know, to change and be better individuals. So we are saying hi to all of you. We should pay them a visit. Dama fa am benn jëkkër bu tudda Ablay. Ba pare suma jëkkër bi dégg naa mu ne nga sori ma. Suma jëkkër bu nekk Mile 2 ñu ne Ablay la tudd ñu mu ne nga sori ma. Bu ma jege. Ablay bés bu ma fa ñëwee du séda. Let's go for a short break, and when we come back the program continues. Don't go anywhere.
Motors is the largest and most modern auto service in the Gambia. Espas Motors is the only authorized dealer in Sherry, Mercedes-Benz trucks, Mercedes-Benz buses, Kia, Ford, Futon Mini and Midi buses, Futon trucks. At Espas Motors, we have qualified professionals who use modern technology to diagnose and repair all brands of motor vehicles. Espas Motor services include auto sales, auto repairs, vehicle painting, availability of high-quality spare parts, towing services. We are reachable at any time. Call Espas Motors on 352222 353-4444 or locate us on the Bertel-Harding Highway. Espas Motors.
Opticalia is a leading European brand which is now in the Gambia. Are you looking for glasses? Then you have come to the right place. As a first step, we will perform an eye exam to ensure we prescribe the correct lenses for you. After that, you can select a frame of your choice. We have a variety of brands in stock, and you will definitely find yours. You can have the full package of frame plus lenses starting from $990 up to more for the most fashionable options. Once you find a frame you like, your lenses will immediately be edged by our lab technician. Within 30 minutes, you will be able to leave with your prescription glasses and a huge smile on your face. How amazing is that? Visit us at the Tropic Shopping Center, Nayasana, Gambia from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day of the week, or call us on 503-4411 or 7767-123.
QMoney is back again with its easy-to-use, secure and convenient mobile app that allows you to carry out all your transactions. No matter where you are or what time it is, you can always access your funds. With the new QMoney app, you can cash in and out, buy credit, buy QPower, shop, make payments, and so much more. You can also send QMoney, pay bills, receive international remittances, and transfer cash to others. Just download the app from your Play Store or App Store and get started. For more information, call customer care on 133. QMoney, Sinu Calpe. We innovate, others follow.
World Cup is here. Enjoy the beautiful game of football with our Samsung Smart TV. Enjoy a massive discount on any Samsung TV purchased. We have sizes ranging from 32 to 85 inches, packed with an ever-evolving variety of content and features. The Samsung Smart TV also provides your favorite video on-demand services such as Netflix, Amazon, YouTube, music streaming services, and even various games and sports content to enjoy as you please. For more information, call us on 333-217 or on WhatsApp 350-555-5. or visit our brand shops at the ground floor of QCell building or at the Bruceby turntable. This promo lasts till 30th December.
Welcome back from that short break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV This Morning. I am Jenna Bosonko, joined by my amazing co-host here, Ibrahim Abalde. So now, moving on, we are about to talk about the Conference of African Alumnus and Ulamas and religious
alumni. Ulamas.
I didn't say alumni. Why are you petty? Why are you too petty?
I just want you to get it straight.
Whatever. We have a special guest, so be chilled, okay? Religious Affairs Ministers, and we are joined by Ndeye Kumba Demba, Brand and Communication Officer of OIC, as well as Lassana Tunkara, Chair OIC Summit Subcommittee. Welcome to the program.
Well, good morning. Well, nice to be here.
Nice to be here.
Nice to be on this side. It's nice to be on this side of the table.
It's good to have Tungala here.
Right?
Ever.
Well, this is the first time.
Take it on.
Yeah.
I'm in your hands now.
All right. So you are welcome.
Thank you very much.
Please take us through, the Ulama Conference.
Yes, so the Africa Ulama and Ministers Conference is slated to take place in Banjul on the 6th of December. Yeah. And as the name suggests, it's an African Ulama Conference, which is organized by the Muslim World League, a body that is renowned for promoting Islamic principles of peace and tolerance. And there's an emphasis on promoting through Islam, because we have seen how other bodies around the world use the name of Islam for atrocities that should not and should never be associated with Islam as a religion. So the conference is going to be held here in Banjul on the 6th, inshallah, and we're expecting participants and delegates from across Africa. And since also it's a summit for ministers, so we'll also be expecting ministers of religious affairs from various African countries. And also, Tunkara, I don't know if I should be spilling the beans, but we're also expecting 2 other presidents to grace the occasion. And of course, our own president, His Excellency, will be opening the ceremony, and the First Lady would be present as well.
How were you able to pull up such a conference to be hosted in the Gambia?
Yes, so for that I would allow Mr.
Tunkara
to as chairperson, able chairperson, I might add.
Well, you know, Jenna, I'm surprised to know. Tunkara is doing all these things. How were you able to bring this conference to the Gambia?
Well, thank you, Balde Jenaba. A few months ago, our ambassador in Saudi Arabia, His Excellency Silla, he came to the Gambia with the special envoy from the Muslim World League, Dr. Al-Mansour. And he met with, on that visit, he met with President Barrow, he met with the Minister of Lands and Religious Affairs, and he also met at the OSCE Secretariat. And he announced that the Muslim World League had chosen the Gambia because the Gambia is well known for its tolerance. You know, we're a Muslim majority country, but we have other religions in the country, but everybody here knows how tolerant we are of each other. So they gave us, in fact, it's an honor for us to be chosen. So they identified the Gambia to be chosen to host this conference. And as Ndeye says, we have ulama and ministers coming from all over Africa, and obviously the head of the Muslim World League will be here from Saudi Arabia. And December 6th is the conference, and it's a big win for the country. I don't know if you've been seeing, a lot of conferences have been coming to the Gambia since we built the Sadauda Karaba Jawara International Conference Center. I know a lot of people still call it the OIC Center, but it's much more than that. Yes, OIC, it was built specifically for the summit of OIC, but it's really helping to push Gambia as a destination for international conferences. We had the Central Bank Governors Conference that was here with governors all over. Last week we had a big security conference with security officials from all over the sub-region and the Middle East as well. So I think people now are seeing the Gambia as a destination for conferences. Not, you know, we're moving away just from tourists coming a couple of weeks every year, which is wonderful, of course, but we want to be more than that, to branch out. And of course, with all the infrastructure that's taking place around the OIC summit, the roads, the electricity, the hotel that's being built, so it's helping to move brand Gambia to a new level.
Yeah, but to some, the argument is that they just hope the center would not be dilapidated before we host the OIC summit itself. So maintenance-wise, I think that is the reason why these questions are being asked.
I think if you go, I think you've been to the center
all the time.
Yeah, and you can attest to the state of the center. I think if you go there today, and you find 10 different conferences happening, the next day you go, you'll find the center in very good shape. It's in good hands. They have an interim committee that's running it. And actually, it's Madame Saucy, who is the chairperson of the event subcommittee of the OIC Summit LOC. She's the one in charge of it, and they're doing a great job. They're outsourcing a lot of the cleaning is being done, the catering. So I think anybody that goes there can attest to the fact that it's being kept in good hands.
Yes. Let's talk about the ulama here. When you talk about ulama, we all know Gambia. It's a religious tolerant country. Are other religions also open to attend?
Oh, of course. We've invited, I mean, the Christian community, the Christian Council has been invited. Obviously, it's focused around Islam, so the Supreme Islamic Council under the President Sheikh Fodedabo is inviting all the imams, but as well, we're inviting the Christian community to come, because as I said, it's about promoting tolerance, it's about promoting peace. Because as you see every day in the news, people are talking about Islam is violent, Islam is terrorist, but that's not Islam. That's just some people from us. So we want to change that narrative. And I think that the Muslim World League, if you watch carefully what they do, the Secretary General travels all over the world. He goes to to Christian events, to Jewish events, promoting tolerance and peace. So that's what this is about.
Yeah, so moving
Just
on,
to that, I think it's important to also note that we do have a national organizing committee, and we have a representative from the Christian Council as part of that committee to also bring in a perspective that will be needed. Because when you talk about peace and tolerance, it actually involves everyone, regardless of religion.
So apart from bringing in all these ministers of religious affairs together, and maybe what it can add to GDP maybe, because obviously people coming in will bring in money. Apart from that, what other benefit do we have for hosting this conference? Is there a fund put in place where when you host it, you get to tap into those things? What else can we get from hosting this?
If I may come in, the benefits are there because when we host these conferences, and as I said, this is funded by the Muslim World League.
Right.
So every time we have conferences that are funded from outside, we build, there's a lot of capacity, but that's the first thing.
Okay.
There's a lot of training going on behind the scenes, whether it's protocol, whether it's event management, whether it's media, security, especially security. Capacity building is a key. So we make sure that our people here have more training. So that's a big thing. And also, as we go along, like you mentioned, the conference center, there's things added to the infrastructure inside the conference center to help us for the next conference. So there's a lot of benefits to it. It's not just the money from the 1-2-day event. There's a lot of benefits that we reap from it.
Do you want to add on to that?
Yes, Tunkara has mentioned we have a lot of capacity building training going on behind the scenes. And I think just by virtue of hosting the Muslim World League's conference is huge for the Gambia, because there are many countries in Africa that this conference could have been hosted in. But Gambia being Gambia, and Gambia standing out as far as religious tolerance in the country, as far as peaceful coexistence. I mean, we have an amazing track record of living peacefully and coexisting regardless of our differences. And so even by virtue of hosting something as big as the Muslim World Summit is huge. But then again also, we know that we are poised to host the OIC Summit. So this is a great prelude to the hosting of the OIC Summit. I do not digress. And I equally do not wish you to digress. But yes, it's important for us to continue to do the work in relation to the preparations going on towards the OIC Summit, and also ensuring that when we host conferences of this magnitude, we continue to test our capacity to be able to host large numbers. Because with this conference, we are expecting a delegate count of 1,500, which is actually very huge. So we have a plenary hall with a capacity that can host thousands, in addition to the other bilateral halls we have, in addition to our press rooms. So this is really a good test drive for the country. And also, Tunkara did mention briefly the idea of expanding our tourism portfolio beyond sun, sand, and sea. We are looking into my tourism, where we can focus on conferences, on meetings, and also on exhibitions. So this is a good opportunity for that. And I think as a country, we continue to learn and grow as far as hosting and also having events of this magnitude in the country.
All right, so thank you so much. Due to time constraints, we have to let you
Jenna,
go.
That's it? You're kicking us out?
I thought you were having us for much longer.
No.
Thank
But
you.
anyway, thank you so much, and we're wishing you a successful event.
Thank you very much.
And looking forward to all the benefits that it will bring. Yeah, and I'm happy that Day is a woman and, you know, a brand and communications officer for the OIC. I'm seeing that gender balance at that level. How's that?
Definitely.
It's amazing.
Even our LOC, the gender balance is there because our chairperson, Binta Sidibe, you know, she used to work for the Women's Bureau, and she's part of the OIC Women's, I can't remember, the Women's Committee. So she makes sure that all our subcommittees, women are very well represented. Not just women, but able women.
That's what I was going to say, because it's one thing to be represented, but it's another to have the capacity.
They don't give them away to like make this whatever. It's the 16 days of activism, so let's keep it moving. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll go for a short break and we'll be right back.
Medicalia is a high-quality clinic from Europe, which is now in the Gambia. Do you have an eye problem? Do you feel a hearing difficulty? Medicalia is here to ease the pain for you. The first and only hearing aid dispensing facility nationwide, where patients can be tested and treated to recover from their hearing loss. Fitted with latest generation equipment, our doctors can provide healthcare assistance for eyes, ears, nose, and throat. Common diseases like glaucoma or diabetic retinopathy can be diagnosed and followed up for fast and correct treatment. Make your appointment with the eye or ear, nose, and throat ENT specialist today to relieve any pain you might be feeling, as consultants are available daily. Contact us for more information. Visit us at Tropic Shopping Center near Senegambia from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day of the week, or call us on 503-4411 or 7767-123. Medicalia, premium care, personal touch.
As the fastest growing GSM company in the Gambia, QCell has the widest 4G plus coverage in the country, 3 times faster internet speed than our competitors. So switch now and dial *335# and enjoy what true 4G feels like. QCell, the Gambia's trusted network.
Q Money, the biggest mobile money service in the Gambia, has taken mobile banking to the next level. Now, you can link your Q Money wallet with your bank account. Yes, link your Ajib or EcoBank accounts with your Q Money wallet and get instant access to your cash anytime. No need to queue at the bank anymore. Transfer funds from your bank account to your wallet or your wallet to your bank account using Q Money Bank Link is the fastest, most secure, and convenient way to transfer funds between your wallet and bank account. For more information, call our customer care on 133. Q Money, Sunyu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
QCell, GSM company minna yirwa tariata Gambia Bankoka. QCell la 4G plus network ya banko bela mura. Andung ala internet o tariata sidula saba katambi nyongola. Sound sign yesta 335# kumande. Yada di kemuna fang 4G sobe wala. QCell, Gambia la network lanna yaringo.
QCell woni GSM company ɓurɗon janɗude ko leydi Gambia ɗo e QCell 4G plus coverage on ɓuri yawude laaɓi tati ɓe wone poɗodirde ɓen. Woru dial star 335 has. Fiwawa na fitorade ko woni 4G. QCell network burado holorede ko Lady Gambia.
Your favorite QCell service has gotten bigger. eFunkanta. Now you can loan bigger credit amounts to make life easier for you. Loan $75 and $100 and pay later. Yes, you heard me right. Get credit loan from $10 to $100 using eFunkanta by dialing star 393 hash anytime you run out of credit. Whether you want to buy Q-Power, browse the internet, make urgent calls, or send SMS. eFunkanta is the service for you. Dial star 393 hash and choose the loan amount of your choice with no hassle.
Welcome back from that short break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning. This is kind of my favorite part of the program today, as we are marking the 16 days of activism. And as you all know, Paradise Foundation with partners has been making a lot of noise recently about, you know, issues relating to sexual and gender-based violence, and that particular hotline, which is 1313, to call if you experience anything that you should not. And that is why we're joined by Aisha Balde, who's from the Paradise Foundation, to further shed light about the hotline and just general issues surrounding sexual and gender-based violence. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Jainaba. And thank you for inviting me. Thanks for inviting me today. I would like to say good morning and assalamu alaikum to all your viewers. And really, we always love coming here to talk about what we do. As you know, we're marking the 16-day activism against gender-based violence. And the whole world is actually marking it and trying to make noise, like you said, so that we're heard. As you know, gender-based violence is now very permanent. It has been happening a long time ago, but after the COVID-19, we noticed that we've been registering more cases, but I think also that we have more actors coming out and speaking out. And this year, the team is to unite our voices and all the organizations to come together. As a result of that, Paradise Foundation launched a Speak Out campaign to promote the 1313 or 1313. Yes, and the reason for having the 1313 is to make sure that people have access to report cases, or if you need someone to talk to, because we have social workers and therapists, you can call the line so that you can talk to someone in confidence. As you know, there are different types of gender-based violence, and in the Gambia, we actually experience most of them. Mostly we have the sexual violence, which is rape, sexual harassment, and we have domestic violence, which is physical violence. Usually we also call it intimate partner violence, like a husband and wife. But most of the cases, it's not only husband and wife. It could be friends, sisters, brothers, in-laws, because we've heard and seen sisters-in-laws or co-wives bullying each other to a point that it reaches a violent point. And we also have financial violence, which is relating to, and usually it's men or families withholding resources or denying another person the access to resources. So which is a violence, because you can hear sometimes that, oh, once I marry you, you don't have to go to work. Or you hear these issues of parents even trying to prioritize the son or the daughter when it comes to work, or issue of resources. All those things are denying someone their rights, financial access to finances.
So generally, how far have you gone when it comes to, you know, these marital circumstances that we're talking about? Because recently we see the conversation surrounding marital rape. And people do not understand when you talk about it. They're like, oh, marital rape, amut. It doesn't exist and all of that. So how are you dealing with it? I know it's difficult because of culture. Men will boldly say marital rape, amut.
Most of our calls actually is domestic violence, is relating to marriage. We have rape cases being reported, but usually it's rape that happened a long time ago and the person was suffering inside and wanted to talk about it, not to report to the police. But when it comes to child-related ones, we report to the police regardless, because children, underage children, you're not allowed to have sexual relation with them. But when we come to marital rape, it comes in different forms.
How are you dealing with it?
It's difficult, very difficult, because, but the marital rape comes with violence as well, because it's linked to the domestic violence. Because imagine a husband beating up his wife and then ask you, meet you in bed.
After beating you up.
That is why we're calling it marital rape. I hear some examples that people say on social media that, when the husband comes from work and the wife say, Damasona, Lolo marital. No, that's not marital rape.
Marital rape is so kodore.
No, it's to link with violence.
Okay.
It's not like Damasona. But at the end of the day, whatever the husband and wife negotiate, even Islam, wax nako da ngeen a neexlante de aada du ñëw rek forcer nit ki forcer loo xam ne danga ko forcer rek baaxut so loolu la ñoo wax te wax ju neex defal lu nekk danga ko préparer.
But I can remember you telling me ne marital rape amut.
waaw comme xam nga lu ma wax mooy.
waaw
marital rape. man dama believe ne warut a nekk. understand nga. I think ne soo bëggee am anything to do with your partner. dafa war a ne. How can you be forcing a person? Ngeen force, ngeen fight, bala anything to happen.
Yeah.
Okay, so me, I am against that. Okay,
Right.
as much as dumare nangu yeneni, why I am against that. Comme jigéen yi lañ dégg na TV di leen maltraite ak yooyu fine understand now. Why am na góor yu ñu dee theater ñu maltraite leen.
ñun am nañ góor yu
xam naa ne case yooyu da ngeen ko dee am.
Oh yeah. And in fact,
so it's important for us to
very
talk about
sensitive.
that.
No, xam nga soo gisee ñu njëkkee jigéen ñi xam nga ne jigéen yaa gën a sonn yow loolu moom leer na la yow ñun ñoo gën a disadvantage
moom fi biti foofu ñu ko fa gis
yéen dañ leen cëral
fii jikko bañu ma ne ba pare xam nga daf dee ne góor buñ réeb ayooyu but it's minimal góor bu ñoo réeb loolu dafa minimal
ñun góor
itam dégg la sonn ak xale yu góor yi because ñun am nañ calls yoo xam ne boys yi are suicidal and why especially bugguma name benn region but for some reason we get lots of calls there. And the pressure of the family, danga wara liggéey, danga wara am xaalis, danga wara jox sa family, danga wara jox ataka jabar. And comme su fekkee ne amuloo nag. And the pressure ne danga wara am, danga wara góor nga, yow danga ko wara muñ, góor nga. Loolu tam pressure la si góor. Te loolu tam dañ ko wara te dafa starté at a young age. Because ñu seetlu ne si kër yi, xale yu ndaw yi sax looy jooy yow góor nga bul jooy. Xam nga di bil den so su amee lu ko naxari na jooy mu génne ko ran mu botul ko op so war na ñoo gën a yaraat ba pare seetaat nu ñoo doxalee góor a jigéen ku nekk am nga métit métit moom ñëpp a ko dee yëg
so to the hotline ndax ku call sa identity because loolu conversation la because people are concerned about ñoom seen identity suñ callee ndax kenn du xam ne Jenaba calloon na the hotline 1313 te lii la wax ne mu ngi go through so foofu sutura beek yooyu noonu.
Our core principle is that confidentiality and human rights, respect the rights of people regardless of who's calling. We don't judge whether I've been raped ndax kii moo ko def ndax defu ko ñun loolu suñu rôle loolu rôle justice la à police ñun suñ rôle mooy ne ku call ñu uyu la dalal la su fekkee ne yaa ngi si jafe-jafe ñu seet ndax yaa ngi si safe environment that's the first step because tamit ku ñëw door oo koo xam ne mu ngee jooy nekk si biir nit ñi ndax safe na ndax fu mu nekk ñu dalal la ba pare laaj la lan mooy sa concern and when it comes to confidentiality, that has been the cornerstone. We have trained staff, and the good thing is that most of our staff were working on volunteer basis, and ñoom ñëpp are passionate about the work. We have a wonderful team, Mohammed, it's amazing, and we signed contracts. Because we don't joke with that. And anyone found wanting, we will make sure we take legal action. Lolu mom duñ koy café. Ba pare so far, touch wood, we have received over 10,000 calls.
Amazing.
And not all of them are gender-based violence related, but we talk to them and get, for some reason, QCell, then am 131, then am 133.
Wow, then I'm 133. Oh, okay. Okay.
Most of them call us for some reason.
That's our Q money line.
Yeah, 133. 133. So when they call, they ask about that.
Yeah, and then you tell them.
I think Lulu folk na dañ ko wara set.
Yes.
Exactly.
I have a question. But some of the gender-based violence cases, we assure them. And so far, amun si ben complain. We don't discuss it on like specific cases on social media or in person. We don't talk about it.
Amazing.
Yes, we might talk about a scenario again to sensitize. Because definitely dañ tollu fo xamne fokk ñu waxtané ko pour nit ñi gëna lifin because mënu ñoo deal case yépp.
2 minutes rek lañ am ma bëgg la laaj té dara lu very important in relation to rape. Gambia fi dégg nañ fi né ko xamne is not a virgin koku mënuñ ko rape.
What does that mean?
That means that if a person is not a virgin and do rape, if
then what is it?
That, I don't know. That's
Once
why
you
I'm
penetrate,
asking.
rape is rape.
What am I like that?
Rape,
Parce que xam nga yi ñoo déggal.
Wow, the rape, different kinds of rape. Rape, they penetrate. In fact, we had cases recently, 10-year-old. But when we took her to the medical center, they realized the person was not penetrated. So she's still a virgin. But they do penetrate a virgin. Then nakala ni di say a virgin, like, you know. So, but people, then am notion bine. Bepare moo tax ñu dee careful about publicizing the cases. Gis nga case yu dee ñëw su social media, they further get harassed. Ñun suñ society, it's kind of weird. It's like xale bu ñu reeb bepare kii de xam na góor bepare. So it's like I was not the first.
Loolu mooy
moom reeb woon nañ ko. So man suma jaaree si ko am du reeb. Reeb mooy
moo tax ma laa laajte.
Forced.
Waaw moo tax nag dañ war a jàngal society bi force lan mooy rape. Xam nga nit ñi dañ foog ne soo pénétrer rek moo nekk rape. I mean rape can be force. Mun ngaa dem am na yeneen ak yeneen yooyu mun a def sax fekk pénétrer loo ko loolu rape la. You know, I think the society.
And we have the first step when they def more they what survivors or victims. Ñu gather evidence nga dem report ko gaaw. ñu daw yóbbu dem medical check bi. Medical check bi is so important. Because dinañ mun a determine lan a xew. su fekkee ne tamit kooku pénétrer but laal na la sexual assault tam daf day am. ba pare xale amuloo benn business di laal lamba xale. mag yéen ñaar soo leen consenté that's a different thing. wante xale dafa am limits. te loi bi mayuñ ko.
Wow, thank you so much. We have 16 days, about 14 now.
Yes.
So hopefully we'll be able to have you back here because this conversation needs to continue. There's more to take a look at. And I like the pop of orange for 16 days of activism.
Thank you.
So the number is 1313 1313. If you feel that you're not in a safe environment or things are not normal with a man, use it. And also, just to say that, yesterday when I posted this on my status, a lot of people were talking about the fact that, oh, women are going to use this against men if they don't want to marry them or they're going to use this number to plot things for them. These are professionals and they can know if complaints are not genuine. So do not think this number is meant to kind of use it to lure women into putting
That's the role of the police and justice. We will just listen.
And then forward the case.
By the way, let me tell you, we had cases whereby someone was luring, but then after talking to the person, she confessed that, wahuma diga. But then we give her help.
Exactly.
Because so gise mu aga fufu put them defend darata.
Exactly.
So we try to help.
All right,
so
but we will have you back here to further talk about the 16 days of activism.
Thank you so much.
So I will go for a short break, and when we come back, we'll head right on to Sports World with Momodu Kajaka.
Opticalia is a leading European brand which is now in the Gambia. Are you looking for glasses? Then you have come to the right place. As a first step, we will perform an eye exam to ensure we prescribe the correct lenses for you. After that, you can select a frame of your choice. We have a variety of brands in stock, and you will definitely find yours. You can have the full package of frame plus lenses starting from $990 up to more for the most fashionable options. Once you find a frame you like, your lenses will immediately be edged by our lab technician. Within 30 minutes, you will be able to leave with your prescription glasses and a huge smile on your face. How amazing is that? Visit us at the Tropic Shopping Center, Nayasana, Gambia from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day of the week or call us on 503-4411 or 7767-123.
QMoney is back again with its easy-to-use, secure and convenient mobile app that allows you to carry out all your transactions. No matter where you are or what time it is, you can always access your funds. With the new QMoney app, you can cash in and out, buy credit, buy QPower, shop, make payments, and so much more. You can also send QMoney, pay bills, receive international remittances, and transfer cash to others. Just download the app from your Play Store or App Store and get started. For more information, call customer care on 133. QMoney, Sinu Calpe. We innovate, others follow.
World Cup is here. Enjoy the beautiful game of football with our Samsung Smart TV. Enjoy a massive discount on any Samsung TV purchased. We have sizes ranging from 32 to 85 inches, packed with an ever-evolving variety of content and features. The Samsung Smart TV also provides your favorite video on-demand services such as Netflix, Amazon, YouTube, music streaming services, and even various games and sports content to enjoy as you please. For more information, call us on 333-2 217. On WhatsApp 350-555-5. Or visit our brand shops at the ground floor of QCell building or at the Bruceby turntable. This promo lasts till 30th December.
Good morning there. You're watching QTV this morning if you're just tuning in. Now, from that conversation on the 16 days of activism, which should continue throughout and even beyond, we are now joined by Mamadou Gajaga to update us in relation to what is happening in the world of sports. Good morning, Mamadou Gajaga. And the match that really caught my attention, first of all, before we go any further, Morocco and Belgium.
Well, thank you very much, Jennifer. It always feels great to be here to talk about the World Cup, the world's biggest football competition. Well, we would come to that, but it's been fantastic for Morocco winning against Belgium.
Exactly. That's
those
huge, right?
array of stars that they have in their side.
Exactly.
That's the Belgium team.
Yeah.
But first, let's start with Cameroon. After taking the lead in their game against Serbia just a few minutes ago, and they conceded twice just before the end of the first half. That's not looking good for Cameroon because this is a must-win match for them if they are going to stay any further in the competition. Remember their final game, they will face one of the pre-tournament favorites, Brazil. So it's going to be very difficult for Cameroon. So probably they would need to buckle up in the second half. They were the first to take the lead, and then they conceded twice before the end of the first half. We look back, a review of some of the matches that have been played. Saturday, Poland played against Saudi Arabia. Well, of course, Saudi Arabia going into this game shocked Argentina, shocked the world of football by beating Argentina, coming from a goal down to win 2-1, with Lionel Messi being on the side, being their captain. In fact, he was the player who scored from the penalty spot for Argentina. But Saudi Arabia couldn't continue with that performance in their second game. After all, it was one star player, a striker. He's been looking for a World Cup goal for the longest of time. Robert Lewandowski finally scored a World Cup goal and even assisted in that game. But the goal that he scored, Jennifer, if I can describe it, it was a gift from the Saudi Arabia defender.
It was a gift. How so is that?
Al-Malik, because he controlled the ball, he couldn't control it well, and few inches away, Robert Lewandowski was there, controlled the ball and just put it at the back of the net. And that's it. So Saudi Arabia lost that game by 2-0.
Do you think it's because of the previous game, it was due to overconfidence, the fact that they won Argentina? Or that was
really.
just
I think they make mistakes and then they were punished for those mistakes. They played well if you look at the overall possession of the game. And the other game that we are going to talk about is Argentina. They had a must-win game to play against Mexico. And Lionel Messi, doing his magic again, inspired Argentina with that sumptuous goal. Spectacular strike it was. That's typical Messi for you. Well, if you've been watching football and been watching Argentina, Barcelona, now PSG, the club where he plays for, you will know Messi can score those kinds of goals. So he scored for Argentina, and Argentina ended up winning that game by 2-0 against Mexico. So giving them a lifeline. At least in their final game, they would want to do something so that Argentina can progress to the second round. The other game we'll be looking at, this one is a shock because Tunisia started off very well. They got a draw in their first game, 0-0, and in their second game against Australia, they were playing well, but unfortunately, they conceded a goal through a header, and that was it in that game. So Tunisia losing their second game. Denmark, France, there is a new star in the World Cup, if you like. Well, France, the youngster Kylian Mbappe, only the age of 23, has added to his goal tally. He scored twice. It was first, he scored, and later on in the game, scored again with an explosive performance. So France, coming from behind, winning by 2-1 against Denmark. It's been a fantastic performance for the French team. They are the defending champions, and they are the only team who has a 100% record in the World Cup, that is winning twice in a row. The other game that we'll be talking about is Japan against Costa Rica. This is also a game where Japan, they sucked Germany in their first game, winning by 2-1, and they came from behind. They conceded first. And against Costa Rica, it was Costa Rica that sucked Japan. with a 1-0 score. The other game we'll be looking at is Spain, who has one of the, if you want the fantastic performance in the competition. They played in their first game and won by 7-0 against Costa Rica. And they faced Germany. They scored first, and Germany got the equalizer, the all-important equalizer. And Germany has also been giving a lifeline. When Spain scored, it seemed like Germany are going out of the competition.
Wow.
Because they had a disappointing World Cup in 2018. So it looks like they're going to park their bags and leave in their final game. But now it appears with this draw in their final game, if they win, depending on what happens in the other game, obviously they have a huge chance of qualifying to the round of 16.
So
Belgium, Morocco, your favorite. That's where we started.
Belgium, Morocco,
So it's been a spectacular performance for Morocco. They scored beautiful goals. Well, of course, the first one, you would blame the Belgium goalkeeper, Thibaut Courtois. It's a free kick around the corner area. He just called the ball inside, and then it passes the goalkeeper. He's a world-class goalkeeper. He even saved the penalty in their first game, but unfortunately this one eludes him and it gets inside. And if you look at some of the pictures, Jennifer, the iconic picture.
The kiss.
Yes, the kiss is Ashraf Hakimi, who went and kissed.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, kissed the mom. That's a beautiful picture there.
That's amazing. I love that.
He really played very, very, very well. That's an iconic picture.
So, Gajaga, before you leave, due to time constraints, what is Africa's chance at this point in time?
Well, Africa's chance, just we're talking about there, Morocco, I think, with 4 points. They are well on their way if they can get something in their final game, depending on what happens in their group, in the other match. But for Belgium, they've already been knocked out. For Cameroon, in a very difficult situation. Senegal, all that they need is a win against Ecuador in their final game. So it's going to be a very difficult one for Africa. But if these teams can get a win, and Morocco, maybe for them a point is enough in their final game.
So tell us something about Papa Gassama before we leave quickly.
Papa Gassama, as you know previously, he officiated in the 2014 World Cup, his first. His second World Cup was in 2018 in Russia. This will be his third one. And the game he's going to officiate involves the host, Qatar, against the Netherlands.
Amazing.
So, and the last time he played a World Cup game was between Chile and the Netherlands. He in 2014 he officiated that game. So this game also, it involves the Netherlands. But this time,
looking forward to that.
So Papa Gassama, we wish him all the best.
All right. Thank you so much, Mamadou Gajaga, for joining us here. Due to time constraints, we have to let you go. But Ibrahima, next, when you come here, you have to be in football gear. Like, danga wara tobal ball. What? Danga wara danga ataku, so sa boots. Bu dëgër soo sa jersey danga teg sa bool danga takku kos doo fi solati kos de danga takku ba dëgër waaw danga takku ba dëgër soo sa difin yu correct def leen dara waay waaw yow rek
ball juggling is
called. Anyway, let's go for a short break and we'll be right back. Dina leer.
Opticalia is a leading European brand which is now in the Gambia. Are you looking for glasses? Then you have come to the right place. As a first step, we will perform an eye exam to ensure we prescribe the correct lenses for you. After that, you can select a frame of your choice. We have a variety of brands in stock, and you will definitely find yours. You can have the full package of frame plus lenses starting from $990 up to more for the most fashionable options. Once you find a frame you like, your lenses will immediately be edged by our lab technician. Within 30 minutes, you will be able to leave with your prescription glasses and a huge smile on your face. How amazing is that? Visit us at the Tropic Shopping Center near Senegambia from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day of the week or call us on 503-4411 or 7767-123.
QMoney is back again with its easy-to-use, secure and convenient mobile app that allows you to carry out all your transactions. No matter where you are or what time it is, you can always access your funds. With the new QMoney app, you can cash in and out, buy credit, buy QPower, shop, make payments, and so much more. You can also send QMoney, pay bills, receive international remittances, and transfer cash to others. Just download the app from your Play Store or App Store and get started. For more information, call customer care on 133. Q Money, Sinu Calpe. We innovate, others follow.
World Cup is here. Enjoy the beautiful game of football with our Samsung Smart TV. Enjoy a massive discount on any Samsung TV purchased. We have sizes ranging from 32 to 85 inches, packed with an ever-evolving variety of content and features. The Samsung Smart TV also provides your favorite video on-demand services such as Netflix, Amazon, YouTube, music streaming services, and even various games and sports content to enjoy as you please. For more information, call us on 333-217, on WhatsApp 350-555, or visit our brand shops at the ground floor of QCell building or at the Bruceby turntable. This promo lasts till 30th December.
If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning. Now, after, a lot of information to deal with, now we head right on to the Click segment with Churchill Balde. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much, Jennifer. Good morning from wherever you are watching us from. It's your boy Churchill Balde, yet another exciting segment, the Click segment. Today, I'm so overwhelmed with joy. I just found out that Gambia has so much talent when it comes to rap. I have with me the guy that called himself Big Live. What's up, bro?
Yeah, I'm fine. Alhamdulillah.
It's an honor to have you on this platform.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
Nice. So I'll allow you to greet your fans, and after that, we kick on with the interview.
Yeah, assalamu alaikum to everybody. It's your boy Big Live, the FCG. Right now, we're live on QTV. Right now in the building.
Straight up.
Yeah.
You call yourself big, but you're not that big. I was expecting to see someone so huge, you know what I'm saying? But you have a big voice though. So tell us about your journey when it comes to music. How did it all start for you?
Basically, it all started like when I was going to school as a high school rapper.
Right.
You understand? At St. Peter's. Yeah. So to a point like I started like 2017.
2017?
Yeah, 2017.
Okay.
But we've recorded like 2 songs, and after, music was kind of like disturbing my schooling. So I have to like
I can imagine.
Stop everything and, and focus in school.
Were your parents supportive when you started your career?
No, none of them.
Tell us the challenge you faced during those days.
It was tough, like big time, you understand? Like being somebody like you are not financially strong,
right? And
going to school, you understand? The only way you could have money was like getting lunch, you understand?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, and it was the only source where I have money for the music.
And music is something that you need to invest. When it comes to putting your craft out there, you have to put in finances, put in your time, put in work, effort, and everything. So when did your parents finally approve of your music?
Yet still,
wow.
Yeah. They're all about my education, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But alhamdulillah, right now, you know what I'm saying?
So aside from music right now, what are you doing?
Engineering. Yeah, I'm working at Nawik right now.
We have an engineer rapper. Yeah. So how do you balance the two though?
Just time, man. Give the music its own time and like work its own time, because like I said, the family are not being supportive of the music, and they've invested a lot, in my education. So I have to give them, the usual path, like. Yeah.
I know how that feels.
Yeah.
Big Lai is very talented, so I'll allow our viewers to look what this guy has to offer, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Message to the youths. Go for Gambia. Let's open up our minds and hearts and listen to this message.
RCB. beats on the fucking track. Wala niti entere moy Mr. Politicien. Fake bugana fake Mr. Politicien. They can promise and fail Mr. Politicien. Lumla wax gomu ci dara Mr. Politicien. Wala job sa budut sur Mr. Politicien. Buguta gis ni dole sur Mr. Politicien. Sacha A1 checkal Mr. Politicien. Greedy yeb la buga jël Mr. Politicien. Ñi di def politique da fen kat fen. Ñom yepa M 6 ak 9 boy ke tane wut ken. Ay waxi lebo duñu nax men bu ci olu ken. Ñu lu ndon wax suñ ko doon def ñu jege aljana. Fi sudu dami politics they never consider us. And now it's time for politics they wanna consider us. Tryna fool blackmailing us with big word of fake. And I want to trust. And help politician pass out ñaka jom. Yaakaar ci ñom moy buga laal asamaan po du jot. I get that you do J I promise you do musa jot. Ngir lu dul bokkam ak boppam amul sa jot. Melen doole sax ñu dellu di la jaay doole. Ñoom nga leen may baat ñu dellu di la xañ baat. Ñi bugg ñoo xam ñi suñ dundin sax lañ dut faale. Kon dafa jot bu la ay wayi neen rek yóbbaale. Seeni cere suñuy rongañ rek a ko dee siim. Te benn lampa buñ fi bokka ñoom rek la dee niit. Ñun ñooy mbalit ñun ñooy dof ñi dañ ñu jàppee wut nit. Xiif loo ñu bare duñu def ay miskin. Toog si ñu diggi boppa duñu sebenal. Musu ñoo yerem bare taxi duñu toroxal. Suñam rek la neex ni yëpp la gaay foroxal. Ibil sa bot ibil sa xel xamal ki ngay bootal.
With 72% of the population, we can make it happen if we are not deceived.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome back. This guy is going to make me start a record label, and if I start a record label, trust me, he is my #1 artist.
Yeah, man.
Bro,
big time,
come take us through. Come, how naka inspiration mi ñëwee? Because yo, come bar for bar, line bo tech.
Yeah.
It's just pure. Come, it's natural. It's true. Come, loolu nekk di dunda. My favorite line is boo waxee ne comme politicien luñ la dig yëpp nekkul lu gaay gëm. Understand what I mean? And it's true. Te léegi su doo dee digga gaay ba politique suy jege. Understand what I mean? So man dama over relate to loolu noonu. Moo tax bi song bu ma ko dégg dama ne this guy has to come to the show.
Big time,
so come walk us through comme naka la inspiration bi ñëwee.
Actually come like song bi last election like
okay, before election.
Yeah, November. Yeah, last
which
November.
Is a perfect time.
You understand? But like danga chapani come time bubu no come anywhere for them and come and let it come people talk like the politician in ni so after like I deem it necessary and come ni come ku nekk di same wax la nekk understand but at the end of the day come amuñ comme nit bi nga xamantene ne comme daf ko mëna like wax comme ñëpp ñu dégg ko and like me being an artist so like xam nga we use comme ñëpp seen wax sa wax
no so wax nga nekk voice of the people
like yeah daf ko benn wax like
so project bi boko Guinea comme did you get feedback from them or naka la nit ñi comme digester song bi
good man comme ñu ko jota déglu moom ñëpp ko appreciate but comme no la ko waxee it's Gambia you understand because dama dem si benn radio comme you know like we don't deal with politics and at the end of the day come you deal with politics you don't deal with politics we've been ruled by politicians so understand so muy loolu daal
because at the end of the day comme no la fa demee so yow foog nga ñëwaat si plateforme bi comme time bi moo xala gàtta te ba ñu xoj waaw so ne la bàyyi nga tàggatoo ak sa fans am soo gaa gis nañ la ba pare xam nañ ne kii mooy big life and watch out for this dude
comme lu ma wax suma fans yi like mooy ne I'm working on a project bigger than big suma next EP you know what I'm saying probably next year man big time heavy one man and let them go also check out on my first EP 100 degrees man
100
heavy and big man
keeping it 100 keeping it tight. That's my brother Big Life. That was all we had for you on the Click segment. It's your boy Churchill Ballet and I'm out.
Big time.
All right, so that is all we have, but just to give an update on the World Cup, Ibrahima, Serbia's 3 against Morocco. So Morocco had a good one and now Cameroon won, Serbia 3. So I'm looking forward. I'm rooting for Cameroon, and I know you're rooting for Cameroon too. Well,
Excuse
me?
If you root for Cameroon, I root for Cameroon.
Why is that? whatever. But well, anyway, thank you so much, Big Live, for joining us on the program. I love this song.
That's a nice song.
It's good for people like you to be activists in your own way, and I think this is amazing. Hopefully, next year you'll get to, you know, have an award, because there's this Activism award for people who sing, just to kind of push them to know that singing is accompanied by telling people the truth and changing mindsets. So it's amazing.
Thank you.
Till we come your way tomorrow with another interesting program. Bye for now, and keep watching The Walk Up.